This is Guessillsayit podcast. This show is for 14 plus disclaimer. All said on this show is opinions and should not be taken as facts to reference. Enjoy the show. Please like and subscribe.
They play around and spray the ground, now more than minds will be blown. Sick and tired of y'all feedalized, now deadly fire gon' go. See me now, I'ma go blow. Go 2 times to your dome. I'm the type of guy that call it like I see it, y'all some hoes. You all compromise, how to brutalize you.
There it is.
All right.
Boom, boom, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. You rocking with the host, Adam Miller, Guessillsayit. To the right and left of me is...
That's it. The governor.
Bizzle, what's up?
Okay, we back with another rap album review. Long overdue. This album been out for a minute. Like I said, we took a break for a minute, or I would have, reviewed this ways back, right? Rapsody album, Please Don't Cry. She's from North Carolina, the same as J. Cole, but I'll get into that a little later as well. It just plays a part in my review, right? I went on the liberty of listening to this album twice. I did my own little homework, the do's and don'ts, what I like, what I didn't like, excuse me. Let's say, I want to say first, as far as, this particular MC, by her being a female artist, and I had to use gender categorization, gender categories. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Butching everything. I hate to, say female MC, male MC. I just like to say MC because when you say female MC, for some reason, it just gives the female artist a disadvantage, right? Okay, Rapsody, Please Don't Cry from North Carolina. Okay, the good of it, right? And I got my homework page in front of me right here. Excuse my French. Excuse my, good points, lyricism and topics. She carried her own weight. Bad points, right? 22 tracks. The album was way too long for me. The cover art was she could have done better, right? Like the cover art itself was lazy. You know anything about cover art, that draws people in first. It's like, watching, looking at a good book a good cover to a book, or, a movie with a good cover to it. You know what I'm saying? The movie could be trash, but what attracts you first is the cover art thing. Some of the best rap albums had the best cover art to it, right? Mm-hmm. You go back in the 90s with Cuban Links and Nas on Illmatic, the boy,
like Tribe album.
Yeah, Biggie Smalls.
All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, or the cover art was a big deal, and I think that it's losing this respect. Where I get it, some people write abstract and stuff like that, and I'm with it because I'm an abstract person myself. But this, she could have picked a better, cover art for our album, and I think that's, for me, I'm very tedious now judging these albums. That didn't do it for me. So bad points. 22 tracks is just too much for me. That's a double album, double cassette. Double CD. Too much, right? Now these days. The cover art, and that's some of the bad points. Okay, good songs on here. Asteroid, Look What You Done, Stand Tall, let's see, what's that? What's that? Forget Me Not. Bad Songs. D&D.
Really?
I think there was like a TLC. Remember, just one of those days. I think they sung that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's talking about I guess that time of the month, right? And as a man, I guess that would have been good for female artists, but as a man, I can't relate to it, and I didn't like it, and it pained me to listen to it. Let's see, Black Pop Star. Didn't like that neither. I guess she caught herself trying to switch up styles, like you said, her versatility. I don't like Rapsody being versatile. I like Rapsody being in her pocket. Let's see, Diary of a Mad B-I-T-C-H.
Yeah.
Again, going out her comfort zone. I didn't like it. I like Rapsody doing what Rapsody does. When she tried to experiment outside of her comfort zone, it does not work for me. Let's see. Not Enough. I didn't like that either. Let's see. He Shot Me. That's horrible. Back in My Bag once again. She tried to go for the commercial. See what she's trying to go at it with it. You know, some type of
trap like.
Radio buzz or whatever the case may be. Some club jam or whatever. I don't know how they jamming in North Carolina, but up here it ain't working for me. I didn't like it. What else? Hold on. Whole likes and dislikes here. Standout song for me. The One Time. I guess that was about her being human, and this album is basically about her being human, and exposing her flaws and stuff like that, and letting her audience know that, look, I am a human being. I go through ups and downs and tears and joy, and this is a very emotional album. I think for female listeners, this has probably been the best album out in a long time, the most vulnerable album out in a long time. Very soulful, For a female listener, I can see them liking this album, or even, deeming this album of the year. Another standout joint on here was 3 a.m. featuring Erykah Badu. Probably my favorite songs on here. And you can make an argument that she was going outside of her. She was looking for like some type of radio appeal, but she didn't leave her comfort zone. Like the albums, like the records I just mentioned, Back in My Bag. She left her comfort zone. When Rapsody is in her comfort zone, she does great. So 3 a.m. I liked that. It was a standout. Loose Rocks. That was about autism. I think it was about her aunt or her mother or somebody, a family member. That was very catchy. Exactly. My bad. I love that. I can attest to that because I had family that was suffering from Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So that really touched me. Let's see. God's Light was dope. Please Don't Cry intro was probably the best joint on here to me, and that was the intro.
With Felicia Rashad.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Please Don't Cry, the intro. All in all, I gave it an 8.5. Would have gave it a 9, same rating I gave Ghostface. The only difference was the songs. Although Ghostface had a very lengthy album, but Ghostface had great features on there that kept you engaged. Rapsody failed to deliver that. Although she held her own on that. And she's one of these artists that don't need features, really, right? But I think she should have just chopped it down in half, at least 11 songs, maybe 12. I like the feature with Lil Wayne on there. I like the feature with Erykah Badu. That's about it for me. I mean, very dope MC. I think that she's the nicest female artist of our generation. She don't get the recognition she deserves because she doesn't wear colorful hair. She's not showing half of her body and twerking every 5 minutes, and feature was great. You get what I'm saying? She's a real MC, and all in all, I got her destroying at least 90% of male hip hop artists. Again, I do not like to separate the genders when it comes down to this genre, but just to make things clear, she is a female MC. So, she got to work extra hard to get recognized. Pause. Also, she just reminds me of a female Kendrick.
I see.
Just not with the right machine. If she's with the right machine, she would probably be getting Grammy. Probably getting music awards and albums of the year and everything else. So I gave her 8.5, and And the only reason why I gave her 8.5, I took away points because, once again, reevaluating. Album was too long.
Right.
Features wasn't that strong, but I'm not complaining about the features. And certain songs that I couldn't relate to as a man, because a lot of her this album is basically based on what females or what she particularly go through on a day-to-day basis, her personal experiences in life.
Right.
So what you think of?
Right. It's funny the ones that you did not like are some of the ones that I like D&D. That was that was the one that I was like, okay, this is different now, because that one sounded to me like West Coast. That reminded me of Snoop. It gave me that vibe. So I said, okay, her voice works pretty good over this type of vibe too, because I was listening to the way her voice is meshing over beats. So like you say, you start off with like, what was that, Marlana? That's her name. So that was like the first.
That was dope too.
That was dope. Yeah, because that one started out almost like that was like acapella, like she was just freestyling, and then he comes in. So I like the way that worked, and then the way that this flowed in the Asteroids was dope. Hit Boy and them, D&D. I kind of like the flow of that. I like the way her voice sounded over that beat more so than anything. But then let me see. I like most of 3 AM was cool. But I really liked, now when it got into the experimental side, like say Diary of a Mad, and then you get down to He Shot Me and Never Enough, that was like the little reggae, like the bar.
Yeah. She put that in the vote, man. That was
See, I like the production of those. I did like the production. I like the sound of those, you know what I mean? Like the instrumentation, that's a good lush sound, that's what I liked about it. Like a jazz feel, that was like her main bass that I noticed. That a lot of it was like a jazz type of feel. A lot like a lot of the way like Schoolboy Q was. So it's like a lot of that mellow. You could probably, I would not be surprised to see the two of them. They should tour together, honestly. But because I think that'd be a real good look, because the one thing I liked about it is they kind of gave you a different blend from, if you was a backpack, you prefer the backpack rap. You can get a lot from her. But another thing about it is too, she is like the opposite of the Ice Spices of the world, or the Sexy Reds. You know what I mean? So that might be a lot of women will really like to gravitate to her, especially if they not into that. They can listen to her. You see what I mean? And she
grown, mature woman.
Yeah. Because she's not like, it's not like it's all about rhymes. You know what I mean? Because she goes into other aspects of her lifestyle. You know what I mean? You also hear like her struggle spiritually that she struggles with, and you can tell she was like Jehovah's Witness, but she's not fully anymore. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So you can get like little glimpses of that. So that's what I liked about it. You can kind of see like peel behind the layers of some of these artists. That's a good thing. But at the same time, it's not the regular same shoot 'em up, bang, bang, and I'm all about just giving it up and just the regular, So that's what I liked about her album. So I would give it like about an 8 out of 10.
You gave it a higher point than Ghostface.
I did. 70.5 was Ghostface, right?
Yeah. I can see it. I can dig it. And plus,
you know what hurt Ghostface? Ja Rule's verse.
Ja Rule always making history in hip hop, man.
Yeah.
How can one verse just tear you off from an album or just make you think completely different on things? That verse that never happened, man. But I will say this. I kind of figured that you would be more in tune with the selection of the production, because you're a producer. Mm-hmm. And you already know she can rap.
But I preferred, because the funny thing is, after this one played, the next one that played was Ghostface. And I like that production more than this one. That's the funny thing about it. But I just said it just sounded lush. The instrumentation, you can just hear how lush it sounded. It was full. That's what I like about it.
And plus this too, I think someone was telling her, look, I'm judging her recent projects, like was it Layla's something, I forgot. Layla's Wisdom. Mm-hmm. Where you get more of that jazz, that jazzy feel and that bright earthy, down to earth, feel to it, right? Then somebody told her, look, not too much of that. You gotta experiment. You never know what fan base you can hook or whatever the case may be. And that, personally, even if it's done correctly, sometimes, like I think you mentioned this a while back about an anthem or something to draw another crowd in. Your album can be very, very boring, or if it's that great, it may not be on replay value. Like Kendrick's last album that came out 2 years ago, although it got album of the year, but who's really, really replaying Kendrick Lamar's last album?
That's why everybody not like us so much, because that's
exactly
replay. That's why this guy, he finally got that big. There goes Kendrick's hit. He finally got that with this.
Yep, exactly. Real quick, mention North Carolina. I noticed J. Cole did not feature on this album. Maybe he's working on his last album. Maybe he want to get out of the spotlight of what happened in that war between him and between Kendrick and Drake, and he just want to lay low a little bit. But I would love to see him on this album because he does flow well on this particular type of sonic vibe. Jazzy type of feel. This is right up his alley, and I would like to see both the North Carolina natives join forces on a project like this. I think that I would have just gave it a 9 on that, and she would have cut the album in half. Probably would have been classic. What replay value to it?
Imagine if this was a duet. Like they did it like a duet album. Like was a tape.
Yeah, they did a song together a while back, but I would have loved to see Cole on this.
Yeah.
This particular album.
Yeah.
So Quan Bizzle, what you think?
Good 3 out of 10 for me.
3 out of 10?
Yeah. It's a 3 out of 10 for me.
Dude, fuck it.
That's a 3 out of 10 because, I have my own personal things. Like, when we're doing, when we're listening to, is Rapsody, is she considered backpack rap? Like, she in that realm of, backpack rap?
That's a good question. She is. But it's more so like, okay, whatever you consider Kendrick Lamar is, that's what Rapsody is.
Okay.
Backpack, when you mention backpack artists, you think of Mos Def, you think of Talib Kweli, you think of Common, you think of those type of guys.
Like Big L?
Chicago, Big L. Not so Big L. I mean, you can make an argument with Big L.
So it's like old school type stuff, right?
You
like
think
underground?
But more like they was into saying the more scientific type things, and they talking about the quantums and this, you know what I mean, where they break down into big words, and that's like the backpack, you know what I mean, like the college kid, you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the backpacker, for what my understanding is, the backpacker is the guy who is the rebel in hip hop. That he don't drive the big fancy cars. He walks around and catch the bus and carry around a backpack.
Like KRS
all day. You know what I'm saying? Like
so like J. Cole.
Then
yeah.
Like the back in the day when you had Helter Skelter and you know what I'm saying, those guys. I mean, I guess you can put her in that field, but she's more like she's in that lane of Kendrick, Andre 3000 and stuff like that. Very soulful. MC.
Yeah, well, that's a 3 out of 10 for me. It's just I don't know with the obsession. I might be a little bit of a hypocrite towards this because I listen to like a lot of 90s and early 2000s stuff, and some of their albums are like 17 songs, 20 songs long, but it's like you weren't listening to the songs and was like, let me skip this over and let me see what this song's about, or let me see what this vibe is, right? Because nowadays a lot of people are listening for the vibe, right? And I think a lot of artists are aware of that. So you're not going to get no really in-depth storytelling unless you really pay attention, right? You're going to really get A lot of ambient type, vibey beats going on, and a lot of good production, you know. But you're not gonna get too much of anything. I like that she's experimenting with this. Is way out of what she does out the normal. I think the only song I kind of like really is like Faith from this album. It's called Faith. I like that. But
yeah, it's the last joint on here.
Everything else, maybe I have a short attention span, you know. I can like listen to at least like, I'll be like on a good day, like 12 songs on like an album if I really like the artist, right? And for like an average artist, someone I don't listen to, probably like 5 to 6 songs, right? But the album length was just long. It seems like sometimes they get songs that they throw away or they had in a vault for years or months and they just put it in an album. It's like not carefully picking, does this match the vibe with the album, or does this make sense, or should I save this for a later project? It's just like, let me just put this in there, why not, right? And let's see what sticks to the wall, what's gonna blow up, what's gonna be that hit, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what hurt it, the length of the album. That's what I mentioned first. It was too long. I mean, 11, 12 songs, yes. But at the same time, I'm with Gov. Sometimes the artists have so much to give us, especially when they have an album that's a personal album dealing with their life and stuff like that, which I really don't think she dived too deep into her personal life, but deep enough where she's talking about relationships. She's talking about sexuality on here. Some people think that she's from the LGBTQ community. Some people wondering that she's straight. Did she have kids? Did she have a baby father? Is she getting married? Like Gov mentioned, her faith. I think she tackled a lot of these things that people have been online talking about and questioning. And me, myself, personally, I thought about these same things. So I think she addressed these issues pretty well. I just didn't like the length of the album. The features could have been a little stronger, a little better. Although Erykah Badu 3 AM was probably the best song for me, and the Please Don't Cry intro. But I'm with you. You know, for a person nowadays, especially nowadays, which, you know, people have short attention spans, it's like hell trying to get through a project, listening to it.
True.
Yeah. The shorter, the better. And like I said, I still stand on this, even when we have these podcast episodes and we're doing these album reviews, right? I don't like to be too critical of the, I don't like to critique the albums too much to a T, because it's like, you know, we was talking about this earlier, you know, you're playing basketball and, you know, whether you're playing it in an inside gym or you're playing it outside and you feel that sweat, you feel that pressure, you start to appreciate the actual players, you know, like you're screaming at them across the screen, you're telling them you need to make this layup, don't make that, or don't miss that three. But you don't know the hours in the gym they put in going up and down the court. So I don't like to just ish on their work and be like, yeah, like that's trash, doesn't make no sense. I like to actually give it a deep listen and see, because production, rhyming, putting the rhymes together, making them make sense, coming from a personal place in your life and pin it in the album does take a lot of effort and does take a lot of hard work. So I do appreciate these artists for not giving in or not selling out and going the easy route, and they're actually going to pit what they know and put everything on the line. It just, everyone is just, I feel like a lot of people, and you got some people that still got it, you know, hopefully, because there's more albums like coming out, hopefully like the Kendrick, J. Cole album. I don't know if Jay-Z's coming out with an album this year. Someone said that's like a rumor, if he's coming out with an album this year.
I'll check it.
Yeah, you have a lot of important people that are coming out with albums this year, you know. So what I want to hope and see for these albums, that they don't be too long and they have some deep importance to them. They have some songs that you can remember. Maybe that's not a hip hop thing. Maybe that's a societal thing, and that's just how people are these days. And people aren't just listening to the artists. They're like, I want something to vibe to, I want something to steady game to. and move on, right? You're not having people that are really definitely listening to the albums and things.
Plus, real quick, to end it, plus a connection with Rock Nation. I would love to see her with features, and I know there's a lot of politics behind it, but I would love to see her, what you think of, I would love to see her with features like Jay Electronica, Nas. I would love to see her, like you said, with Schoolboy. She did some with F-Soul recently, a few years back, that was very dope. I would love to see her with Jay-Z, on the album. But Erykah Badu is a legend, and I'm glad she was able to get her. But I just think that, and I like you said, Quan, I don't know, the work that she put in. I can sympathize with the work that she put in. But for the politics of it, the people that she probably wanted on this album to make it go further than what it is, I think that the album done a great job for what it was worth. It was just that by me being a male, I can't really sympathize with a lot of things that she had going on in this album because it was based upon her personal experiences as a woman of color. You get what I'm saying?
Going through the pandemic, yeah, that was a big part of her story through this album too. Was also going through the pandemic. I think it was like a breakup or something like that as well had happened, either just before or during that. So, yeah, like you're saying, it's really like the album. Like if we were women reviewing it, I think we would. Yeah, this really touched on a lot of areas of our life and how we had to deal with blah 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 blah. But so that didn't really happen for us. That's why I say that's why we don't get that same connection the same way.
Exactly. Well, Rapsody, if you ever watch this podcast one day, you know what I'm saying? Us, here at Guessillsayit, we love your work. Keep going. Keep bringing out projects. Keep hitting them over the head. And I think that you're better than 90% of current rappers. And me personally, next to L Boogie and a couple other legends, I think that you're in that top 5 of all-time female artists, and you're like a breath of fresh air in this cesspool of female artists nowadays. So, for real. So, all right, that wraps it up. I guess I said I'm your host, Adam L. To the right and left of me is
Sikaz the Governor,
Quan Bizzle.
And we'll hit you up next week. We're rocking with the greatest podcast in the world. Peace.